Bots and Books fans, this is Scorp1701, and tonight we are going to be taking a look at the Walgreens Exclusive Transformers War for Cybertron Trilogy Kingdom Red Alert. Now, because we've seen Red Alert in Siege, this is going to be mostly a comparison video, so we're going to go through it really quick to show off the differences and what's new and what's not in the robot mode and the vehicle mode, and I think it'll be a lot of fun. So, taking a look at the box, you have it in a standard Kingdom box. You have Red Alert, you have Takara Tomy, Transformers duration symbol, Transformers, Hasbro 8+, Kingdom logo here. You have Red Alert in his fire car mode here. On the side of the box, you have Red Alert in his robot mode, and he is a deluxe class figure that is so cool. On the top of the box, you have an Autobot symbol. You have the War for Cybertron Trilogy logo here. You have War for Cybertron K38, and you have some recycled things. I don't know what that is, but hey, it's made from recycled paper. Go us. On this other side of the box, you have this standard image of the Kingdom line and the nice logo here at the bottom. On the bottom of the box, you have credits for the box and a barcode. And finally, coming to the back of the box, you have the product shots of Red Alert in his robot mode and Red Alert in his car mode, and some more credits for the box. But that is it for the box. Let's get him out and see what he can do. And here we have Red Alert out of the box. And out of the box, he stands at approximately 5 inches tall, and he comes with a set of instructions that will help you transform him from a robot to a car, and from a car to a robot, whichever way you want to do it. And he comes with a light bar accessory, a laser rifle, and a shoulder missile. The Kingdom Red Alert comes with a shoulder missile, which is something we sorely lacked in the Siege version, and I'll get into that in just a minute. But first off, I want to take a look at Red Alert himself. And here we have Red Alert with the Siege Red Alert. So, like I said at the beginning of the video, this is mostly going to be a comparison type video of the two and see what the differences are and what they change. So first off, you can tell that the reds on the Siege Red Alert are a little darker as opposed to the brighter reds here on the Kingdom, and I like the brighter reds a little better. Taking a close look at the head sculpt, it does appear to be the same head sculpt, and I think though the Kingdom head sculpt got a little less detail in it. I'm not exactly sure. It just seems like the head sculpt here on the Siege is more pronounced. The eyes look a little wider as opposed to these eyes, which maybe because of the paint, I guess, they do look a little set back in the head. Let me zoom in. That's about as close as I can get. Right now, those eyes, they're metallic blue, and they look a little smaller than those, which I think are painted powder blue. So eyes-wise, I like Siege eyes. I think those are brighter and more lifelike. So zoom out just a little bit so we can take a look at the chest details. On the Siege, you do have the Cybertronian details with the fire logo and the Autobot inside. On the Kingdom, you have the red Autobot symbol, the FD for Fire Department, which obviously is, you know, Earth Fire Department. I think the Autobot symbol kind of melts into the background on the Kingdom's chest, so it's not as pronounced as opposed to it being on white background here. So I like the Autobot symbol over here. The chests themselves are going to be different sizes and sculpts because the cars are going to be a different design. The Siege chest is a little more curvaceous here, whereas the Kingdom Red Alert's chest is more blocky, which, you know, is to be expected because of the different sizes in the cars. Nothing really changes until you get into the forearms and the legs. Now, the Siege version had white forearms and white legs, which is more cartoon accurate as opposed to the red forearms and the red legs here, which is more toy accurate. So I like cartoon accurate better, so I wish they would have stuck with the white arms and legs. Coming down to the bottom of the legs, the grays here are more cartoon accurate than the blacks and the purples here, and the feet should be white. Anyway, that's going to be a bit of comparison. There are things I like about the Siege version and things I like about the Kingdom version, and that is what our Red Alert is going to look like. Moving on. And full comparison, here you have the Kingdom Red Alert with Earthrise Ratchet, Earthrise Prime, Kingdom Inferno, and yes, that is Kingdom Inferno. No, you did not miss a video. I am actually doing the Kingdom Inferno and the Kingdom Red Alert at the same time. Thought about doing a part 1 and 2 fire rescue team, but decided to do individuals by themselves. And then finally we have the Earthrise Prime. Alright, and these are some really cool bots. This is my own, how you say, rescue bots. Because you have an ambulance and a fire car and a police car and a fire truck and then Optimus, of course, because you have to have him. Alright, those are your comparisons. Moving on. And for transformation, we'll go through it really quickly. If you have the Siege version, it's identical. And I actually want to do it because when I reviewed Siege, I already turned him into a car and then transformed him into a robot. And I hated that I did that when I did my reviews. So I'm going to turn him from a robot to a car so you can get a full view of how to do it both ways. All right. So, starting off, I want to do a little prep work. I like to turn the head around. It is optional. You don't have to do it, but I think it looks a little nicer. Then bring the hands in like such. And go ahead and bend your elbows because that's going to help you out in the long run. And kind of bring your arms out to the side. Again, that's going to help us in the long run. From here, take this belt part, pull it up. That will bring the hood of the car up and secure it in place. From here, you can bring the waist part down and again, secure that. So there, you have the bottom of the car there. Pull out the sides right here. And then, you kind of got to get your finger in there, but you'll get them in. But then you can bring your arms in so that the circles in and down, in and down, so that you'll have 4 circles, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, and if you'd like, you can go ahead and close your doors, like or the sides, and then twist it around like such. Okay, there you have the front of your car. Now, coming down to work on your feet, you will open up the tabs here from the inside out, like such. And when you do that, you'll want to push this little part right here down so that it can close the foot up in there. So that would be cool. And then after that, you're going to fold the feet up and then connect them like such. And then coming back to the bottom, you're going to close the panels. And there you have Red Alert in his side swipe mode. So I imagine this is what your side swipe is going to look like. And they did release one from Kingdom. He was in a 2-pack with Skywarp, the Predacon from Beast Wars. And I'm still debating on if I want to get that or not. I think it's on sale at Ross's. If I can find it, I will probably pick it up. But anyway, from here, actually what you want to do is bring out your light bar and just plug it onto the top so he can be his emergency vehicle self. So yeah, it will just peg it right down in there. It is kind of a little tight the first time, but yeah, there you go. And that is Red Alert in his vehicle mode. Brum, 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 brum. Moving on. And for a comparison of the Red Alerts in vehicle mode, the Siege will be on our left and the Kingdom on our right. So the front of the car is pretty much the same. You have the white and red color scheme, and we saw it as the chest, so nothing's really going to change there. When you get to the windshield, the Siege has a nice black plastic, whereas the Kingdom has a smoky gray plastic, and you can see some details in there. Now, it may not be visible on camera, but you can actually see, per the naked eye, the Red Alert's head in there. So, given the option, I think I would have preferred the darker black windows, but it is okay either way. The red on the hood of the Siege is much bigger than the strip on the Kingdom, and the lights on the Siege are gray or silver, whereas the Kingdom has, looks like blue metallic, but actually it's coming across as kind of green. So I don't know if I like that particular color. It just seems kind of an odd choice, but it's something different. So coming around to the sides, you have a lot more, let me zoom out here, a lot more red details when it comes to the tires and the sides, a little bit of black picked out in the Siege, whereas on the Kingdom it's basically all white. You do get a little black details here and here, and the rims on the tires are silver, so that's not too bad. The windows are painted, and they don't have much of a window here other than the main windshield on the car for the Siege. And then you got some black details on the back here that are painted out, and there's nothing here for the Siege. Coming around to the rear of the car, there is nothing on either one of them as far as items picked out, no tail lights or anything like that. This is a little more cleaner, I think, the Siege, because you can see the red legs poking out right here on the Kingdom, but that's not too bad. When you pull it up to see the trunk area, there is no paint on the Siege over here, but the Kingdom does have the back window all painted black, so that is neat. And when it comes to the light bar, you got, again, the lighter red over here and then the darker red, but they're pretty much the same. The right side is the same, and that's pretty much it. If you really want to take a look underneath, we'll pull that up. You don't really see anything here, but there you go. You got more red highlights than you do over here because of his arms being done in red. So yeah, all right, and that is what the vehicle mode for the Kingdom compared to the Siege looks like. Moving on. And here you have Red Alert in comparison with Prime, Ratchet, Prowl, and Inferno. And yeah, I like the fact that the rescue bots, they're all really done in white. I guess it's pretty cool until, you know, the actual protective bots came along. We didn't nearly have a motorcycle or a helicopter that could add to the Autobots until they did, and you had a whole group, which is pretty neat. Here you are with Ratchet. He's going to be a little bigger, still pretty neat. Okay, then obviously here he is with his partner Inferno. Really good. I think when it comes to Inferno, he's a little small. Inferno should be bigger when it comes to these two comparisons, because I think a fire truck is a lot bigger than a car, but it's what they gave us. And finally, here he is with Prime. That is really cool. All right, and that is your comparisons. Moving on. And for accessories, he comes with a very large laser rifle, and this is exactly the same one that he came with when he was in the Siege line. It is the same mold, sculpt, and not a lick of paint on it. It is done in black plastic, and usually that you would at least have some sort of different variation so you could tell which gun came with which, but they are the exact same, no differences. So yeah, but the fact of the matter is, I don't even use this gun when it comes to Red Alert because I don't like this gun. I think the best one is the one that came with Sideswipe. So this is always going to be the gun that I use for Red Alert because, well, it's red and it looks a lot more like his G1 gun. So, and it fits right in his hand like so, and that is really neat. We'll zoom out a little bit so we can see him, and he could shoot people if he was so inclined. Choo, 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 choo. So that is cool. And if you do have a hankering for the actual gun, so we'll put this in, and you can actually see how big it is compared to him. Choo, 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 choo. So yeah, that is neat. And if you want to, if you have them both, you can do some double wielding. Yeah. I'm gonna mess some stuff up now, boys. Alright, and for his next accessory, yes, indeedy, he did get a second accessory, one that the Siege Red Alert did not get, which much to my dismay, he has a missile launcher. And it is nice. It's done in black, and it has a nice red missile on it. And the missile is detachable, like you could pull that out and whoosh, you know, kind of shoot it off or pretend you are. But, so, yeah, for this, obviously going to be on his shoulder. Let's see, I believe Red Alert had right shoulder. And there are different ways that you can mount it on his shoulder. Clearly this peg is what mounts it into the port, but there are holes on each side, so that will allow you to direct where you want this thing. And the instructions show that you should put it like this, with the port going behind the head like that. And I don't know, I mean, that looks okay, I guess, but you know, it seems like it's kind of cramping his head up. So what I like to do personally is take it out, rearrange it on the other side, and put it on the shoulder with that little handle of the gun type sticking out. So if you put it like that, you don't even see it, but you know, it's always going to be there. So there's not really anything you can do with it. And if you're so inclined, yes, you can use this as a handgun and shoot some Decepticons that way. Okay, and that is going to be his accessories. Moving on. And this has been the Walgreens Exclusive Transformers War for Cybertron Trilogy Kingdom Red Alert. And I really enjoyed picking this guy up. I definitely love the G1 aesthetic of his vehicle mode. And comparing him to the Siege version, you can see that there are a few differences, mostly in paint apps. But there is some retooling of the chest too to make the vehicle mode a little more wider for an Earth type car. There really isn't much new to say here. Concerning this figure, I do like the paint, did like the sculpt and the mold. The color of the legs and the arms do kind of irk me a bit, but it's just a nitpick. The fact that he came with a shoulder cannon, definitely a lot better than not having one, since Red Alert had one in the cartoon. His laser rifle, again, I'm not going to use it. I'm going to use the red one that came with the Siege Sideswipe, because I think that's a little better and more fitting for Red Alert, but that's just me. And the rifle does do that little thing where you can attach the light bar to it and it turns into an axe, which I will never use. So that's going to be this guy. If you're looking for him, he's a Walgreens exclusive. You can go to the Walgreens website and pick him up there for 25 bucks. If you look for him online, he's going to range anywhere north of $50 or more. So I would always go with the Walgreens website. Hopefully they'll ship to your area. If not, I'm terribly sorry. So that's it. That's the review, guys. Hope you enjoyed it. And until next time, keep playing.
Another day, another adventure.